It's good here.
Good. Ready?
All right. Jason, get started.
Yeah, Hugh. We clarify something on like play call and stuff. Last year it was, hey, those guys were kind of setting first and third downs, suggesting things, and then you're kind of going from there. Is that kind of the way it is?
It's Derek Nix is the offensive coordinator, and he does all the planning, scripting, in charge of the game plan. But man, there's no staff that is not a collaboration on the plan, and I offensively or defensively reserve the right to say on the call sheet, I don't really like that one right here. But he does a great job for us. Kent kind of leads the third down plan. But other than that, Nix kind of leads the charge and has the play calling duties, with me reserving the right to say, hey, I go over on defense and during the when we're on defense to do head coaching duties and do the same thing there and say, I think you ought to, give me a hole player here. Or I don't tell DJ a whole lot, but there's times I can see what I think offenses are doing, and I say, hey, man, I think we need to cloud this. That's the way it'll be this year. And while I'm doing that, the offensive guys led by Nix are talking about the next series and what we should do. And usually there's another TV timeout or something, so I have time to get back on and say, all right, what are y'all thinking? Yes, I like all of that.
When it comes to talking to Jackson on the mic, is it just you talking to him?
It's both of us. We both have the ability to do that. And
you and Nick?
But usually the call comes through me, and I either that's what we're doing, or I say, hey, you got it right now, and I'll try to keep my mouth shut unless I have time to see a check or something that I know we should go to. But hopefully we've done a good enough job coaching him that he gets us in those to begin with.
Is that similar to how you always have done things?
No, I wouldn't say. Yes, the planning, but I called, the majority of the plays at Ole Miss and at Liberty and Arkansas State and the other places. But Nix has been with me so long, he's one of the few that I have a comfort level with because our verbiage is the same. So he's one that he and Kent both have been with me long enough where I feel comfortable not having to do that all the time.
Health-wise, how do you feel like your team is right now this morning?
Yeah, as a coach, that's the toughest thing is how do you prepare a team in a very physical league to be physical and be healthy and fresh at the same time. And camp is just, there's no way around. We're on 2 weeks now, and you just have those bumps and bruises. We're fortunate that nothing is to a point where we've lost someone for significant time, but we did this week have a bunch of receivers get banged up, and that I would say the max that they would be out is a week is what the medical team feels like and says. So hopefully that's accurate and we can get them back and them have a good last week and a half or so to prepare for the game.
Coach, how do you feel about the offense as a whole at this point in time in the camp?
I'm never totally pleased. It feels like in the live periods we've gone that we haven't executed as well as I hope, but I have to say that's probably every camp I've ever been in. And, you're not game planning for everything DJ's putting in, and that's really hard on an offensive line. When they go out there and here's a new blitz today that Ed Gummit, we've got to cover that the next practice and get it right, and here's another one. And even though we know it's going in, it's one thing to know it's going in, but another thing, you hadn't seen it live. So I'm pleased with the effort. I'm pleased with, I think, the community and connection that our team is making, and still really confident that we can be a really good offense, even though I think we've got to make sure from this point forward that the what to do is at a high percentage. And then we'll worry about, all right, you maybe should do it a little different, but we got the what to do exactly right and against all the looks that you see. It'd be much easier when you're planning for one team that does these things. Yeah, you'll get surprised in the game sometimes, but it shouldn't be, gosh, there's 13 new things that we've seen. It typically is not that way. So I would think that would hopefully help our execution. And you're blowing the whistle here every time somebody gets close to the quarterback, and I do think our quarterbacks have the ability to extend plays, and we're really not giving them a chance to do a lot of that. We're going to do a period Monday because I think our defense, one thing we do need to work on defense is containing the rush lanes. I think we've got to improve on that, and so we're going to work kind of on that starting Sunday. Sunday will be Monday because we're going to treat the next 2 weeks like a Friday game.
Who are those receivers that are a bit banged up right now?
Malcolm, Eric, Perry, Bryce, a good bit of them. But again, it's nothing real serious. Eric probably has the one that would take the longest to recover. He's just got a really deep thigh bruise. I think the others could be ready by Monday. Eric's probably a couple of days behind that.
Couple more.
What's kind of the focus for the second scrimmage, and what do you kind of hope to move forward after that?
We're going to decide that finally tonight in our tonight's staff meeting. We will go some live. There'll be some yellow jerseys on some that are not live, but it'll be a mixture of live and not, and just hopefully to see our execution improve offensively. We've tackled well in the live period, so that's good to see because you don't practice that a whole lot. And but I think we've tackled well. But it'll be a mixture. But we need to see our offense on the critical downs. We weren't great last year, and we've got to make sure that it's not us that's causing it not to be successful. Defense made a great play. That's great. But man, did we execute it properly, and was it schematically the right call for those critical downs?
He was reported this week that the charge against Malcolm is dropped. Are you able to confirm that, and then does the result of that case have any impact on his status with the program?
Yeah, like I said in the press conference earlier, all the information our administration gathered, he was cleared to practice and to play, and I don't know any information other than that.
Saw you a little frustrated there. I don't know if it was Jackson or what, but you threw your hat. Just how much more comfortable is he
Did
by
you
week?
catch me throwing my visor?
I did, yes.
Yes, yeah. I've got to calm down sometimes with quarterbacks, but when we have, again, it goes back to when we have the right thing called, the expectation, and I think it's a reasonable one, is we execute it. And now if we haven't coached it well enough when we get in there, maybe that's the case. I'll ask the quarterback staff, what did we tell him? Because we got him wide open and we don't throw the touchdown. And that's frustrating as heck. When you it's hard enough to score in this league and in any game really, but man, when you finally have one that's called right, you want to see us execute it. And that was the frustration.
All right. Wallace out there today.
Last one.
His first day back from the suspension, or has he been out?
He's working on a plan to get back in good standing, but he's still suspended from games indefinitely until he meets those.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
Thank you all.